Ahoy, Wasted Water Sports crew. All right, let's see how this is going to go. A very ambitious prospect here as we try and call a couple of games of rugby at the same time. The Warriors look like they've started red hot in this one. And a chance here to take a 2-0 lead. The penalty goal early. Tanner Boyd pops it over. And in this elimination final, it's the Warriors who are up 2-0. This will, of course, spill straight into the All Blacks versus Springboks test match. So doing double duty here. But what a game we just witnessed. So we were a little bit late to this one. We were a little late to this one, but understandable if you knew the way that that rugby game ended. It went down to the wire. Tanner Boyd with the penalty goal. Gets the Warriors on the board. 8 minutes gone. DJ Shack says all bets are off. It's State of Origin-esque. State versus state. Mate versus mate. Fisher, Harris, and Leota wanting to go 10 rounds. Yeah, very nice. Bobby, ahoy, mate. So it is the Warriors on top early in this contest. Now, I did hear that there was rain abound, and rain certainly evens this contest up as the Warriors get another penalty here. The Panthers offside. Isaiah Yeo up in the face of the match official here, begging for answers. XJC, ahoy, mate. Yes, somebody in the chat room said that it was pissing down. I can't say is that it looks like it's pissing down. So maybe the rain has subsided, or they were just trying to mess with me. 2-0 though. Warriors, I do understand the Warriors have got a breeze at their back in the first half. So it'll be interesting to see how many points that is worth. It's wet underfoot. There we go. Wet underfoot. Boyd on the wraparound out the back. Gives it to Nia Corday, 40 metres out. Egan with the double pump and short ball to Ford. Ford carries it inside the 30. The call of hell now, fifth and last. As Egan goes short. Now Boyd out the back for Pompey. Pompey takes them on. Fifth and last, 15 metres out. Warriors back on the attack. Harris Tavita now puts this one high. It's a great kick. It lands awkwardly for Edwards, who spills it out the back. And it's a contest on the ground. Nickel Clockstad fights for it. But it looks like the Panthers have got it down just in the nick of time. A tough kick, that one, for Dylan Edwards to take. Harris Tavita lands it almost perfectly on the uprights. John Michael, ahoy, mates. Yes, a very deserving win for Los Pumas. 28-26. But the Wallabies doing extremely well to fight back. And, oh, it looks like a big breeze at the back over the shoulder of the Warriors. So Dylan Edwards up for it. Bobbles it off the hands into the face of Blaze Tulungi. Playing on at this point. Sorensen's there. Nickel Clockstad didn't seem too interested. So it's play on at this point. Nickel Clockstad, his eyes have lit up. Sorensen. Well, nobody's grounded it. Neither player really grounded it. Sorensen bounces it. It slips out of his hands, and Nickel Clockstad spills it forward. Scrum down for the Warriors, so it's going to be more attack. 10-metre scrum to the Warriors. playing with that breeze at their back in the first half. Scrum down. Boyd feeds it. Egan sends it out to the right. Halasima takes the line on. Quick play the ball. Egan, the crash ball for Nickel Clockstadt. Oh, he's so close. Half a metre out here, the Warriors. Pressure on the Panthers here early. Egan to Aaron Clark. Clark held up 10 metres out from the line. Halfway through the set, Egan looks back down the short side. Boyd goes out the back for Nickel Clockstadt again. Well taken by Casey McLean. And Talangi in there over the top to clean up. 2 tackles left. Boyd to Clark. Wraps around Aaron Clark. And he's taken down in midfield. 5th and last. Boyd wants it down the left edge. Harris Tavita with a nice ball to Capewell. Capewell with the no-look pass out to Alamotti. Alamotti's tackled in goal, but saves the try. Oh, they're ripping them to shreds at the moment, the Warriors. But somehow the Panthers line stays intact. Just a Tanner Boyd penalty goal. But it looks like it's been all Warriors. Hunter, ahoy there, mates. Yes, very hardcore start to this one. As Cleary goes short with the restart and finds touch. Oh, Nathan Cleary coming in clutch. Gets the ball for the Panthers. That's the sort of stuff that he can do, this man. That's a big turnover. Oh, now. Driven back in the tackle. Casey McLean catches them napping around marker. As the Panthers now with more quick ruck ball. Edwards is driven back in a 3-man tackle. That's huge defense from the Warriors. And a penalty. The Warriors called for a tip tackle. Oh, tempers are boiling out there. We saw some tension in the last game. We're seeing tempers boil over here. Jace, ahoy, mate. Scorpio 69, ahoy. Need to convert those opportunities into points. It seems like lots of possession and territory early for the Warriors. On report for a tip tackle. Wow, that's harsh. That is a harsh, harsh call. Done for a tip tackle. Good Lord, that was rough. Two points to nil, though. The Warriors lead, and it's a penalty to the Panthers. 10 short of halfway. All Black Springboks coming up in about half hour's time. Liam Martin carries it up to the halfway line. Slow play the ball. As Leota crunched in midfield. Oh, there's lots of feeling in this one. Summerton goes to Yo. Carries it into the Warriors' territory. Talangi drops it off inside. For Lindsay Smith. Smith wrestled to ground. 4 tackles gone. Talangi takes the line on. 5th and last for the Panthers. They're 30 out. Cleary puts this one high, kicking down the short side, but it's going to land about 10 metres out. Batted back by the Panthers. Summerton scoops it up, gives it to To'o, and Harris Tavita scrambles across and puts it into touch. Try saver for Harris Tavita. They've diffused that situation. So here come the Panthers now. 10 metres out on the attack. Leota rumbles it up. Red hot opportunity here for the Panthers. Smith angles back in towards the posts. Summerton, the crash ball for Leota. Tries to spin out a 1. But he's taken down just a couple of metres out. 6 more tackles. Here's Liam Martin on the burst. 5 metres out from the line. The Panthers. Yo in midfield. Goes out the back for Cleary. Holds the pass up and it's been spilt by Sorensen. Great defence from the Warriors. Sorensen can't hold on. The Warriors defend. Wow. The Panthers 4 from 8 completed sets. That is abysmal from the Penrith Panthers. Dreadful. 50% completion rate to start this contest. The Warriors, they need some, what's the word? They need to start icing some of these opportunities. Getting dangerously close to the sideline here, Curtis Capewell, but he does well to stay in field. And Pompey brings it outside the 30-metre line. And a penalty to the Warriors. The Panthers, looks like ill discipline has crept in. The Warriors have been, looks like they've been dominating possession and territory. 2 points to 0, though. They don't have a whole lot of points on the board to show for it. Schneider has passed his HIA. The good news for the Panthers there. That means Summerton will get a little bit of a rest. Warriors fine touch, still inside their own half. And Jackson Ford takes tackle 1 on the halfway line. Turned on his back for a slow play. The ball. Clark onto Fisher Harris. As into Panthers territory they march. Egan back into midfield for Clark to go again. Oh, he's a strong ball runner, Aaron Clark. Halfway through the set, 30 metres out. Boyd goes out the back for Nickel Clockstadt. And it's read well by Casey McLean, who makes the hit 35 out from the line. Egan down the short side for Halasima, who fends off one, fends off another. Leka Halasima. 25 metres out from the line. 5th and last. Harris Tavita with the crossfield kick, using that breeze as it bends in towards Alamotti. And Alamotti's crunched in the kick chase by Tuivasa-Sheck. The Panthers pin down their own try line. Knee crumbler, ahoy, mate. Isaac Tungo here, a bit too upright in this carry. And it's huge defense from the Warriors. Fisher Harris is all over Moses. Is that Moses Leota? No, it's not, sorry. But still, it's a huge hit. To'o tries to duck underneath. Gets a quick play the ball away. Edwards beats one. And takes it up on the 5th and last to the 30-metre line. Slow to get back into position is Niakore. Cleary gets poor service. Rushes this kick away. Finds the space in behind Tuivasa-Sheck, who can't trap it with his boot. Tuivasa-Sheck collects it on his own 10-metre line. The kick should never have found that much distance. Bianx, GG. Let's go Panthers over in the Twitch chat. A first-time chatter. Jack says the Wars will lose by 13 plus. JC Smoke says the Warriors have been running a lot harder than Penrith. Jack's got South Africa 1-12 and Roosters 13 plus. That's a pretty good prediction, I reckon. As the kick down the throat of Edwards. Edwards collects it on the 20. He now heads back towards the 30, and it's a great kick chase by Aaron Clark. Cleary goes into play dummy half. Brian To'o. This elimination finalist, Cleary, scurries out of the dummy half position and up to halfway. 3 tackles gone. Edwards now has a go. Can't get away from Clark, but they're inside the Warriors' territory. 2 tackles left. Schneider back on the field. Gives it to Smith, 5th and last. 40 metres out in midfield, the Panthers. Cleary will kick high. Contestable ball. Well taken, Tuivasa-Sheck, but Alamotti rips it away, then spills it. He's ripped it out and stolen it, but it's gone forward. Now, do they think about a challenge here, the Panthers? Probably not this early in proceedings. It'll be Warriors ball. So the Panthers, they're holding on here. It seems like we missed the start. We missed the opening 10 or so minutes because we were calling the Wallabies game. But it seems like the Warriors have been all over the Panthers here, everywhere but the scoreboard. 20 out from their own line. Egan. They're running with purpose, the Warriors. Great intensity. Out enthusing the Panthers at the moment, it seems, as Fisher Harris goes up to the 40 on play 3. Charging onto it now. Morga. Tackle 4 on the halfway line. Nickel Klokstad, 5th and last, 40 metres out. Getting very heavily involved, Chance. Harris Tavita down the short side. Pressure on the kick, but he gets a good one away. Contestable ball. Alamotti takes it and scampers away into midfield. Big defense again from the Warriors. Tungo from dummy half. Again, he's a bit upright, Isaac Tungo. He's got to drop himself to ground a bit quicker than that. To'o takes it out to the 30. McLean from dummy half. DJ Shack says the Warriors really winning the collision. They're big men bullying the Panthers physically. Papali'i on the field. That's a better carry there from the Panthers. Up over halfway on the 5th and last. Cleary puts this one high. Not contestable. Just kicking for distance here. And they let it bounce the Warriors. Liam Martin's piling through to put pressure on. But he misses Nickel Klokstad and the ball. And the Warriors come away with it. Penalty to the Warriors. Panthers are offside. Ill discipline. They're getting pinged off the park here, the Panthers. Nathan Cleary frustrated, but the Warriors, they need to keep an eye on that. The ball just hanging up in the breeze, and they've let it bounce. Wow. 4 of the last 5 penalties have gone the way of the Warrior. Panthers, ill discipline here to start this contest. 5 penalties to 1. They're getting blown off the park. Capewell up to halfway. Morga to Boyd. Drops it off on the inside there for Niakore. Warriors on halfway. Halfway through the set. Controlling the territory at the moment. Jackson Ford hit hard by Papali'i. Aggressive defense. Morga. 5th and last. Sets it up. 35 out from the line. The Warriors using this breeze to great effect with their kicking game. Harris Tavita makes this one contestable. Pressure on Alamotti. Oh, no, they don't. They don't pile through. The Warriors were happy to just sit back and wait for Alamotti to return it. 2 points to 0. 16 minutes gone. There's Dylan Edwards now. A nice, strong carry. Low play the ball here from Papali'i, and they get a penalty here, the Panthers. Their second of the half. Boy, did they need this. Well, it's potentially backbreaking for the Warriors. It seems like I said, we missed the start of this game. So I'm only making assumptions based on the stats and the little that I've seen so far, but it seems like the Warriors have been dominant, but they have very little to show for it on the scoreboard. As Liam Martin, slow to get up and play this one. Short side for Papali'i. He looks like he's been solid since he's come on, Isaiah Papali'i. Kalungi heads across field, gives it off to Smith. Smith. 35 metres out on play 3. Snyder to Yo. Goes out the back for Cleary. Looping around the right. Early kick here in behind the Warriors. Nickel Klokstad gets across. and takes it half a metre out from his own line. Great kick from Nathan Cleary. And now no penalties is the order of the day for the Panthers as they look to keep the Warriors pinned down here. Pompey with pink jerseys all over him, swarming. Still 10 out from their own line. Watene Zelezniak spins out of one, but he's put on his back on play 4. Still inside their own 20. Alasima gets the arms free, but doesn't look to offload. Fifth and last, 30 metres out from their own line. Big kick needed here, using the breeze. Harris Tavita picks out Alamotti on the full again. Gives it to Edwards. Opportunity down the left edge here. To'o versus Watene Zelezniak. Bumps him off. Ducks under another. Steps away from a third. Brian To'o brings it back to halfway. What a kick return from Brian To'o. And now Casey McLean charges into the 40. Some front foot ball here for the Panthers. Edwards at first receiver. On to Yo. Cleary with the double pump out the back and quick hands on now to Alamotti, who steps off the right back in field. Halfway through the set. 30 metres out. 5 in from this near touchline. Panthers send it left. Edwards. Short ball for Papali'i. 20 metres out on play 4. Right in midfield. Schneider goes left. Cleary to the line. Gets the offload back for Talangi. Talangi goes out the back for McLean. McLean from a standing start. 10 metres out on the 5th and last. Schneider goes back open side for Cleary. Cut out pass for Papali'i, who goes straight through and scores under the posts. Nathan Cleary with a gun of a ball. And Papali'i scores under the sticks. He's been brutal since he came on the field, Isaiah Papali'i. And he has just burst straight through off that immense pass from Nathan Cleary. Panthers lead 4 points to 2 with the kick to come from right in front. This has come out of nowhere. The Warriors were dominating. They only walked away with 2 points after all that possession and territory. Freeze at their back. And that's a real backbreaker. Four points to 2 is about to become 6-2 with the kick to come from right in front. Quick break. I'll be right back. Taking all the time in the world with this one, Nathan Cleary. It is bang in front. We're just slowing the pace down to make it 6 points to 2. Scorpio 69 says Penrith big game experience will be the difference in the end. DJ Shack, how good has Papali'i been since coming on? Yes, I was a little late to the party, of course, but Penrith were getting dominated when I switched on. And Isaiah Papali'i has come on and he's given them go forward. He's lifted the intensity of the whole team. A solid performance so far. 6 points to 2. The Panthers back underway. Edwards takes it and here is Papali'i. Running it from the back fence. Liam Martin in midfield. Bumps off one. Brings it outside the 22. Fisher Harris crowds the play the ball area. Schneider sacked in the tackle. And again, Jackson Ford this time. All over the ruck area. And a penalty goes to the Panthers. Back to back was too much. One was okay, but 2 in a row was a little bit too much there for the referee to put up with. Dear, oh dear. Could they go back to back here, the Panthers? Finding touch on halfway. And Isaac Tonga with the first carry. 10.5 minutes to go in this opening 40. Martin steps off the left, and he's driven back in the two-man tackle. Jackson Ford leading the way. And another slow play the ball from Martin. Papali'i goes again. 30 metres out from the line. This could potentially be a massive, massive point in the game as Cleary kicks on play 3. Nobody at home here for the Warriors. Nickel Clockstadt scrambles back, slides across the turf, and he takes it in goal. Goal line dropout. Nathan Cleary is just starting to pepper those balls in behind the racing defence. And then using the conditions to keep Nickel Clockstadt trapped in the end goal. And they go short with the restart. The Warriors, it doesn't find the 10. Panthers ball, 10 metres out. All Black Springboks coming up. I'm somehow going to keep an eye on both games. It's going to be very interesting. As you can see, we've got the two scoreboards there ready to roll. Cleary to Papali'i in midfield. He deserves a double, Papali'i, the way that he's playing. Deserves a double. Yo, inside ball for Smith. Lindsay Smith sets it up as, yes, Scorpio 69 says the signs are not looking good for the Wars. As Nathan Cleary spills it backwards. Tungo collects it. 12 out from the line, just to the right of the post, halfway through the set. They've got a reset here. The Panthers, Yo, gives it back for Tungo. Loose pass out the back. Boy, this is scrappy. Alamotti just needs to settle things down, and that's exactly what he does. A settler back into midfield. 2 tackles left. Papali'i charges onto it. A late ball for Smith. Smith held up a couple of meters short. What a quality rugby league name Smith is, huh? Wrap around for Talangi. Talangi grubbers through, but nobody's really chasing. Nickel Clockstadt grounds it. It's another goal line dropout. Oh, the Panthers are just lifting here. They've gone up a gear. The Warriors' defense is racing up in their faces. The Panthers are just starting to put the ball in behind them. As Boyd breaks the 10 meters this time. It's batted back by the Panthers and it's loose. Locked on by the Warriors. Panthers will get the ball. Unlucky there for the Wars. 6 points to 2, 7.5 to go until the break. A first half that's been 30 minutes or so of domination by the Warriors, but it's the Panthers who lead. Seven minutes until the break. Cleary has it in midfield. Drops it off inside for Sorensen. 20 metres out. Talangi, short ball for Papali'i. Papali'i gutting for man of the match. Yo steps back in field. 6 points to 2. Panthers building. 10 metres out, halfway through the set. Schneider goes out the back for Cleary. Short ball for Sorensen. Sorensen's had the dropsies tonight. He almost dropped it again. Schneider to Yo. Cleary looks for the quick ball. It's loose on the deck. Edwards taps it on. In behind Alamotti. Alamotti scrambles back for it, but they've lost some metres. Tungo steps away from the chasing defence. And he'll set it up now on the 5th and last, 20 metres out, right in midfield. Schneider looks left. That's where Cleary is. Cleary, grubbers in behind the line, wants this one to sit up. It does sit up. Nickel Clockstadt has to play at it. And it's another goal line dropout here for the Warriors. They just lost their way a little bit in that set, the Panthers. But they look to get the ball back now from the restart. Panthers now just controlling the ball, controlling the contest. And the Warriors go deep with the restart. They've said enough. Let's get it out of here. And it's a great dropout, trying to use the breeze. And Papali'i will return this to halfway. They're trying something a little bit different there, the Warriors. Lindsay Smith rumbles it up the middle. He's held up in the tackle, 40 metres out. Schneider goes short side for Martin, who's bursting onto it. 30 metres out. Yo in midfield. Goes out the back for Cleary, as he often does. Drops it off inside for Sorensen. Sorensen takes it into the red zone on play 4. Smith to Yo. Short ball for Papali'i, 10 metres out. 5th and last. And told to go back on the mark and play it is Isaiah Papali'i. Schneider goes short side for Cleary. Short ball for Martin. Easy read for the Warriors defence. And, well, I'm not sure what that was all about for the Panthers. Well, they got a set restart, did they? No, that's a handover. That's just really poor end of set from the Panthers. I wonder what happened there. A really meek and meaningless end of set. And an easy handover. 4 minutes to go until the break. Alasima breaks away from dummy half. 4 minutes to go till the break. Nickel Klokstad. 2 tackles left. Tamate Martin on the field. Just short of halfway, he's tackled on the 5th and last. Short side, they go for Harris Tavita. Puts the kick up, but picks up in the breeze, and Edwards takes it on his own 20. 3.5 to go until the break. And the Panthers just losing their way on attack a little bit when they're down in the red zone, but they're starting to look a lot more in control here. As the intensity, the sting has gone out of the Warriors, defense and attack. There's Liam Henry sporting some fresh headgear. Talangi up over halfway. Oh, sorry, Tungo, my bad. 45 out from the line. 2 tackles left. Yo takes the line on himself. Big Isaiah Yo. 5th and last. 35 out. Schneider goes left for Cleary. Just pops this one up in the corner. McLean chasing. Easy take for Watene Zelezniak. They're happy to let them have it. More than happy to let DWZ take that one and keep the Warriors pinned down in their own 10. And even there, the carry from Nickel Klokstad, not breaking the line, not bending the line at all. Alasima taken down just outside the 20. 2.5 to go till the break. Tuivasa-Sheck on play 4. Just a workmanlike set of 6, this one from the Warriors. 5th and last. 10 short of halfway. Back for Boyd. Kicks from inside the 40. Edwards creeps forward for it. Places himself perfectly. And the Panthers back in possession. Ollie is the best. Ahoy, mate. MJ Sowen. MJ Sowen Cecil. Oi. Tungo up to the halfway line. 1.5 minutes until the break. Schneider scoops it up, gives it to Henry. Emmanuel Vincent, ahoy, mate. 2 tackles left here for the Panthers. 40 out from the line. Cleary goes out the back for Talangi. Short ball for Sorensen. 5th and last now. 30 metres out. Cleary in midfield. Puts this one high for To'o's corner. It's not contestable. And it's an easy take for Nickel Klokstad, who charges onto it and almost breaks through. They desperately bring him down on the 20. Watene Zelezniak now. The last minute of the opening half. Warriors up to the 30-metre line. Pompey, dummies, brought to ground by Liam Martin. They're happy to defend the Panthers. We know this about them. That's their game. They're happy to just give you the ball back and defend their line. Tanner Boyd steps off the right. A clean line break. Casey McLean gives chase. Boyd steps back in field. That's tackle 4, 20 metres out. They need front foot ball here. Harris Tavita, the kick pass out to the left. Doesn't get enough on it. And Edwards picks it up. And now Edwards is in open space. Dylan Edwards steps back in field and ducks under the tackle. 15 seconds to play. They've made a mess of that, the Warriors. And we've got time off now. Edwards has stayed down after the contact. Dylan Edwards now getting attended to with 13 seconds left. 6 points to 2. A clean line break from Tanner Boyd. Well, he has stepped up tonight so far, Tanner Boyd. Luke Metcalf was going great guns for the Warriors in the first half of the season. Alamotti with the final play of the opening half. That is the halftime siren sounding in the background. Panthers lead at 6 points to 2. A half that was dominated by the Warriors statistically, but not on the scoreboard. The Panthers lead at 6-2 at the break. Halftime here, the elimination final. Shane Hayes says Warriors to lose 12+. It was a good finish to the half for the Warriors, but some alarming signs for sure. Some alarming signs just started to open up. Halftime here, 6 points to 2. The Panthers over the Warriors. All Blacks, Springboks coming up as we try and get both games covered in one. That's going to be very intriguing. All right, I better see what my dog is barking about, and we'll be back for the second half right after this. All right. This is going to be so interesting. 2 games at once. The All Blacks have run out onto the field. Leroy Carter on debut. Bring it on. 6 points to 2 at the halftime break. The Panthers in the elimination final over the Warriors. As the teams are lining up for the anthems and whatnot. Over in the rugby, All Blacks versus Springboks, second test. Getting underway momentarily. Tarata Vincent Hillman says, let's go All Blacks. Let's pour myself another drink. Jack says the Panthers will have another gear. Wars are just playing as usual. Double Judy Jones. I love it. Got to get the... there we go. All right. Got to get my team sheets up for that one. Oh, this is going to be so bizarre. But elimination final in the NRL. Panthers going to halftime with the lead, and they'll be coming out in the second half with the breeze. A moment's silence for the two former Springboks who passed away during the week. Just the one try there in the... Let's hope for another cracking contest. I mean, we saw a great game. A fantastic game in the Wallabies and Argentina test. Somehow that one ended up going down to the wire. I'm still not quite sure how Australia almost pulled that one off. But that was a good lot of fun. Have I... Have I? Oh, God. Spilt my drink. There's the big ox. What a unit. Oh, I'm sending this to the virtual cable. Right. I think I just want to send this direct to speaker. No? Okay, where do I want to send this audio output? NH Beach Bum, who will win this one? All Blacks or the Box? Look, I reckon the All Blacks. Yeah, I reckon All Blacks to get this one. All right, sorry, I'm just trying to organize my sound. I've not done this before, of course, this Double Judy Jones. So I'm trying to organize some volume for myself. Stay hunky, ahoy, mate. If I send this to my virtual cable, that should do the trick. But yeah, I'm very keen to see how Noah Hotham goes. That's not working for some reason. Very keen to see how Noah Hotham goes. Very keen to see how Leroy Carter goes on debut. Lazo, ahoy, mate. The anthems are done and dusted. Now it's time for the haka. Which version of the haka will it be? Will it be the traditional Kapawang, or which one will it be? We'll find out momentarily. The All Blacks are in a huddle, ready to get this one started. So Will Jordan, of course, has shifted to the wing as well. Jordan shifting to the wing to allow for Damien McKenzie to come in at fullback. And I reckon that McKenzie's been brought in for his goal kicking. Leroy Carter, that famous All Blacks number 11 jersey, and it belongs to him tonight. Billy Proctor leading the haka. No Cody Taylor, of course, tonight. No Cody Taylor, so a new leader for the haka. What a moment that is for Billy Proctor. Mookie, ahoy, mate. How are you doing, buddy? Some passion here for the All Blacks. Ready to get this one underway. Okay, I'm going to have to shift this one over. Bear with me for a second. I do apologize. This is, of course, the first time that we've done something this ambitious. Doing double duty. I need to get myself some volume, but I've also got to make sure that that volume doesn't filter through onto the stream. Okay, it looks like we're all good. Moments away from kickoff. All Blacks versus South Africa in the second test. Now, the All Blacks have won just 4 out of their last 10 test matches here at Sky Stadium. So they will have their work cut out for them. South Africa, 2 games unbeaten at Wellington. 6 seconds to go. Let's get it started. Referee blows the whistle and the second test is underway. All Blacks versus Springboks. And the Boks put this one high and contestable to start off. Khaleesi sweeping through to put pressure on. And the Boks have come away with it. What a start. As Nomazulu looks for the cutout pass out to the left. Deflects off an All Blacks hand. And into the 22 they go. Hot on the attack here to start. What a start it's been for the Boks. Fussy almost breaks through. They're 5 meters out for the line. Out to the right edge they go. And the South Africans have started extremely well. Kenan Moody taken down, 5 out from the line. Over on that far touch. The crossfield kick here. Looking for it to sit up for Hooker. Gets it back in field. And Fussy gets the arms free, but spills it over the sideline. Into touch it goes. As Wallace and Gromit Satiti scrambles across. But what a start for the Springboks. They're coming all the way back for a penalty, it looks like. Maybe the All Blacks were caught a little bit offside there. But a dream start here for the Boks and an opportunity to take 3 points and put themselves in the lead. Nomazulu, though, is he going to put it into touch here? The Springboks contemplating keeping the pressure up here. Nomazulu points to the corner. The Boks have turned down an opportunity at 3 points. And they are going for so much more here. They lose the line-out ball and the All Blacks scramble away with it. Savia carries it up to the 22. A missed opportunity there for the Boks. Maybe they should have taken the 3. Take the points when they're on offer, as we always say. And the All Blacks 2 minutes into this contest. They survived that early scare. Hotham has it at the back and sets up the box kick as he clears this one upfield. Not a very solid exit, but pressure on Cheslin Colby as he races through and spills it forward. So it's a result for the All Blacks. Knock-on advantage being played. Will Jordan being held off the ball there. Sorry, it was Leroy Carter being held off the ball in back play. Gets himself into position now. Scotty Barrett in for protection. Hotham looks to clear again. The box kick. That's a better clearance. Finding touch, but still not a lot of meters on it. Not a solid exit. And we're very interested to see how Noah Hotham goes. As I was saying, the All Blacks just haven't really found a stable, suitable replacement for Aaron Smith. Finley Christie had his opportunity. He didn't quite deliver. Wrap around there from Kanan Moody onto Colby. Cheslin Colby spills it. 2 touches, 2 knock-ons for Cheslin Colby in this last little passage of play. And it'll be a scrum down for the All Blacks. Second half is underway in the NRL Elimination Final. The Panthers will get first use of it. And they will also have that breeze at their back for the second half. How many points was that breeze worth? Well, we'll be finding out very, very soon as the Panthers lead the way here in the second half. 4 minutes gone in this second test between the All Blacks and the Springboks. No score. The Boks, they had an opportunity at points. They turned it down, electing to go for the try instead. It didn't quite work out for them. As we wait for this scrum to pack, Harris Tavita has it for the Warriors, bringing them up towards the halfway line, and now he's staying down and earning the penalty, Harris Tavita. High contact and ill discipline in the first half for the Panthers has carried over to the second half, and an early piggyback upfield here for the Warriors. As the scrum sets over in the Rugby Union, Hotham feeds. It collapses immediately on this near side, but it's play on as the ball goes out to Geordie Barrett in midfield. All Blacks 25 or so out from their own line. Setting up another ruck, and Hotham will have another crack here to try and get their exit correct. It's another box kick. Lots of height on this one. That's a better kick. Taken by the All Blacks. Jordan wins the battle in the air. Front foot ball now for New Zealand on halfway. Barrett goes out the back to his brother Geordie. And they lose some ground. Almost stolen by Willemse, but still there for the All Blacks. Tupovai sets it up in midfield. Quick hands to Scott Barrett. Floats it over the top for Adi Savea. Savea to McKenzie. McKenzie cuts back in field. Pops the pass back for Scott Barrett. And they're inside Springboks territory. It's been hovering around this halfway mark as Proctor with quick hands on now to Leroy Carter in space. Carter with his first dash of the game. Up over halfway go the All Blacks again. And a kick in behind the line. Finding touch, 30 out. Noah Eliu, ahoy mate. Noah Eliu, go Artie. Panthers have survived an early scare here in the second half as they come away with the ball off the back of a Warriors mistake. And we get ready for a line-out in the rugby. Boy, this is bizarre. as Casey McLean now stays down, holding his head. The Panthers look to get a piggyback upfield. Springboks secure the line-out ball, uncontested. And Khaleesi leading from the front, charging into contact. 7 minutes gone, no score. Box kick from Reinach up to halfway. Geordie Barrett bobbles it, collects it on the second attempt. And the All Blacks have it on halfway. De Groot lays it back, and a penalty to South Africa. Lomax driving through illegally in the ruck. And a penalty on halfway for the Boks. Nomazulu steps up and will put this into the corner as close as possible to the try line. And he fails to find touch. Not even close, Nomazulu. It sits up in the end goal for Jordan. Draws in the kick chase. Bowden Barrett from inside his own try line. They put it through the hands. And Leroy Carter will thump this one upfield and get the exit for the All Blacks. Throwing it around inside their own goal line. And Nomazulu now breaks through. 22 out from the line. The Springboks go straight back on the attack. All Blacks in over the top of it. Can't get the turnover. Ball is out, so play on as Takiaho goes through to try and pilfer. Still there for the Boks, though. Diego carries it inside the 22 of the All Blacks. Stolen by Adi Savea. Oh, he's a beast, Adi. And now the counter-attack is on. Bowden Barrett tries to thump it upfield, but it deflects off the Springboks' hands and knocked on in midfield by Billy Proctor, I believe it was, who couldn't quite collect the ball. Or actually, it might have been Satiti there on second viewing. And it'll be a scrum down to the Boks as the Panthers now launch an attack 6 minutes into the second half in the NRL Elimination Final. Papali'i plays at 35 out. Yo drops it off on the inside for Henry. Panthers mounting some pressure now. Halfway through the set, 20 metres out. Cleary to Liam Martin. 15 out, 2 tackles left. This could be, a set restart. That's a coach killer. Cleary to the line. Gives it to Papali'i. Spins in the tackle and pops it out the back. Casey McLean now with the in and away. Taken down by Halasima. And then Nickel Clockstadt in to help as Noah Hotham is down in the rugby. So we've got an injury stoppage there. And again, some scrappy attack from the Panthers. Yo settles things down in midfield. Schneider, the crash ball for Henry. 5 out from the line on play 4. They're just a couple of meters out. Schneider dummies and goes from dummy half. And Brad Schneider fights his way over the line. The Panthers get their second try. 10 points to 2 with the kick to come from right beside the posts. The Penrith Panthers putting on a show. Brad Schneider sneaks out of dummy half and bounces his way over the line. Panthers up 10 points to 2 with the kick to come. And Noah Hotham, oh, what a sad sight this is. Noah Hotham limping off the field. Finley Christie enters the fray for the All Blacks. That's disappointing for young Noah Hotham. But Finley Christie gets another opportunity. All Blacks win or draw, and the Freedom Cup returns to New Zealand. So it's all on the Boks to win this game. Reinach feeds the scrum. Penalty advantage as it collapses. And Moody takes it up. 30 out from the All Blacks line here. Nomazulu, Grubbers in behind, looking for Cheslin Colby. Colby gets the bounce, and then he spills it over the try line. Cheslin Colby was almost there. Try-saving effort for the All Blacks on defence. Great attack from the Springboks. Oh, the try saver from Jordan Barrett. Jordan Barrett, take a bow. Try saver, and he's pumped about it too. Jordan Barrett on the deck in celebration. The try saver on Cheslin Colby. And the scores remain 0-0. They come back for the penalty at scrum time, though. Nomazulu, they've turned down shots at 3 multiple times already today, so I can't imagine that they're going to change their mind here as the Panthers knock the ball on from the kickoff. Oh, it's gone backwards. The referee says it's been knocked back. The Panthers from the kickoff drop the ball in their own end goal, and it's called knocked back, and rightfully so. As we see it on the replay, it's clearly gone backwards. Line out throw here for the Springboks off the back of that penalty. Malcolm Marks fires it in for the free kick. Reignites taps and goes. 5 meters out from the line. Reignites, the crash ball right in front of the sticks here, the box. 5 meters out. All Blacks calling for defense over on the far left side. Reignites, the crash ball. De Jager taking a meter short. They pick and go, and the Springboks are over the line for the first try. Who's come up with it? The try has been scored. Springboks are up 5-0 with the kick to come. And the try by R.G. Schneemann. (5-0) with the kick to come, and the Warriors have made a mess. Watene Zelezniak has made the cock-up of all cock-ups here. And a goal line restart. They go short. Tanner Boyd batted back into the hands of Curtis Capewell. And Capewell comes away with it for the Warriors. Conversion successful from Nomazulu in the rugby. And South Africa lead 7-0. And now what's happening here? The referee is having words in back play. What are we looking at here? Was there potential foul play after the try? This could be a huge moment over in the rugby. Potential foul play after the try's been scored is what I think we're looking at here. Wow, that'll be interesting. Tanner Boyd puts this kick up. Panthers let it bounce. And Brian To'o comes away with it. And now runs it upfield. To'o outside the 22. Well, they can't take this try off them, can they? Because, there's been a knock on at the back of the ruck. The conversion's already been kicked, though. So the try is going to be scrubbed out. No try to the Springboks. There was a knock-on missed at the back of the ruck. Now, my understanding, the rule must have changed, because my understanding was once you've taken the conversion, that's it. I didn't think that the TMO could get involved after that. That's why you see the players rush through the conversion. They've obviously overturned that rule. They've gone all the way back and called the knock-on, and the try has been scrubbed out. Now, I was completely of the belief that once the kick at goal had been taken and everybody started heading back towards halfway, that was it. Scrum down, defensive one for the All Blacks. 5 out from their own line. Big shove from the box. Pressure on, but illegally, says the referee. Penalty goes to the All Blacks. As the Warriors go on the attack here, Beauden Barrett thumps this one into touch in the rugby outside the 22. As the Warriors now go on the attack, Stowers Smith on the 5th and last, taken down 10 meters out. We'll turn our attention to this for the moment. Boyd in midfield. Goes out the back, through the hands. Nickel Clockstadt, the double pump for Halasima. And Halasima's been held up. Gets it to ground on the second attempt. Halasima gets the first tick off my multi and the first try for the Warriors as Proctor now breaks out for the All Blacks. It's all happening here. The All Blacks still trapped inside their own half. I don't think they've had a single possession yet in the Springboks half. 14 minutes into this game. Carter goes on a dart, gives it to Barrett. Barrett keeps the ball alive in midfield. Space opening up now. Bowden Barrett. 10 metres the Springboks side of halfway. Taki Aho to Geordie. That ball's been knocked down by Fussy. And this could be a yellow card. No. The referee, not as harsh as the one in the Wallabies game. No thought of going to the pocket. Halasima scores in the elimination final to bring the Warriors back into the contest. 12 points to 6 as the try is confirmed and the kick is to come over there. Warriors back in a big way. Farsi getting through to spoil. Scrum down for the All Blacks. 15 and a half minutes gone. No score in the rugby. Elimination final. Panthers leading the Warriors. Tanner Boyd to make it a 4-point ball game. The conversion attempt from out wide. Strikes it well. Bends it back. Tanner Boyd puts it down the middle. And it's 12 points to 8. The Warriors are back in a huge way. The Panthers were just starting to get on top and roll forward. That's a big hit back from Halasima and the Warriors. Scrum down in the rugby. 40 out from the Springboks line. It sets. And a free kick to New Zealand. Wallace and Gromit-Satiti goes quickly to Geordie Barrett in midfield. Spins away from the first tackle. Bowden with the cutout pass now for Carter. Leroy Carter stepping off the left. Well read by Cheslin Colby. All Blacks under pressure here at ruck time as the Boks drive over the top. But it's still there for them. In midfield, it's a loose pass out the back from De Groot. Now, Artie Sarvea in space. Gives it off for Parker. Parker beats one. And Nomazulu's down in back play here for the Boks. Jordan in midfield. The wraparound for Geordie Barrett. Now numbers out to the left. McKenzie's up in the line. Gives it to Proctor. Proctor holds the pass up. And Satiti out there on the left wing. Springboks drive over the top, but still there. Finley Christie fires it out into midfield. The crossfield kick for Parker. Parker's got support from Artie Sarvea. Flick pass out the back. Artie steps back in field. He's tackled 5 metres out. A try-saving effort. The scrambling defence of the Boks. Jordan. Numbers to burn out to the left. McKenzie. On it goes for Tupou Vai. Vai out to Leroy Carter. And on debut, Leroy Carter with the first try of the test match. The famous All Blacks number 11 jumper. It's his tonight. And he scores his first ever career try. Welcome to the All Blacks young lad, Leroy Carter, with the opening try of the game. And the All Blacks lead 5-0, kick to come. Meanwhile, Panthers, fifth and last, 40 metres out from the Warriors line. Summerton just shoves his ass in Tamate Martin's face. The crossfield kick puts pressure on. The ball's ripped away from Tungo. Martin pops it back in field. And then they've lost the ball, the Warriors. Double knock on. Who was the first knock on? Was the first knock on the Warriors? This is a big call. They're going to challenge it here, the Warriors, I think. It's going to be Panthers' ball in midfield. Conversion successful from out wide. Sideline conversion, and the All Blacks lead 7-0. 12 points to 8 in the elimination final. This one's starting to ramp up. Panthers have the scrum down 15 metres out from the line. They break away to the right. Here's Cleary slipping. It is slippery underfoot, as we know. We've seen it all game. Cleary tackled. 10 metres out from the line. Leota on the crash ball. Just a couple of metres short. This is a big moment in the elimination final. So we'll concentrate on this for the moment. Yo gets the arms free. Offloads. Back for Henry. Henry's a metre short. Lining up to the left. That's where Summerton goes. And it's lost by Blaze Talangi. Set restart for the Panthers. He's collected it on the second effort. Blaze. What a huge mistake that would have been. He did well to regather it. The bobbled ball. 5 out from the line. Panthers. Still a long way to go in this contest, but a potentially big moment, potentially defining moment as Liam Martin scurries across field. 10 metres out from the line. Still fighting his way forward, Liam Martin. A metre out. Crowding the play the ball area again, the Warriors. Another set restart. Summerton plays it quickly. Henry. A couple of metres short. Panthers building nicely here. McLean steps off the left. Halfway through the set now, still entrenched in that 10-metre zone. Cleary heads across field. Needs a runner. Goes out the back for Edwards. Edwards to Tungo. Quick hands for Alamotti. Alamotti from a standing start, taken inside the 10. 2 tackles left. The Warriors holding on for dear life. Tungo from dummy half. Taken down a metre short. 5th and last. Goes back to Cleary. They're up quickly on him. Cleary's going to run. Nobody to pass it to. And that's the handover. 5 metres out from the line. What defence from the Warriors. Round of applause for the home team. 21 minutes gone over here in the rugby. And we've got a scrum down. Penalty goes to the Warriors. Nathan Cleary not giving the ball up on the turnover. The end of set, and that's just really poor discipline. Really ill discipline there from Nathan Cleary of all people. Springboks go on the attack now. 22 metres out from the line in midfield. Reignites loses it at the back of the ruck. Reignites drops it, and it'll be a scrum down for the All Blacks. Ill discipline from the Panthers. Putting themselves under pressure. And another poor end of set. The Panthers a couple of times tonight haven't got a kick away. They've just meekly surrendered the ball. 2 tackles left here for the Warriors. Up over halfway, Fisher Harris on the 5th and last. Playing into that breeze. The breeze certainly hasn't seemed to be helping anybody tonight. Harris Tavita puts this one high. It hangs up in that breeze. Edwards bobbles it. Gets it on the second attempt. Panthers have it on their own 20. And we've got time off here for a HIA. Who's this in back play? Leaving the field for blood, actually. Wade Egan. All Blacks off the back of the scrum. Bowden Barrett wraps around the back of Geordie. Gives it to Carter. Carter bumps off the first tackle. Penalty for high contact. And the All Blacks leading 7-0 can clear. They can get the ball out of this end of the field. Bowden Barrett finding touch. About 10, the Springboks side of halfway. Takiaho with the line-out throw. Tupovai claims it, pops it down for Christie. Christie to Barrett in midfield. Dummies, Geordie Barrett. Taken down on the halfway line. Takiaho goes straight up the middle. Can't get the offload away. Quick ruck ball stacked to the left-hand edge. Intercepted by Cheslin Colby and shut the gate. Colby's away and the Springboks hit back. The intercept down the short side. Cheslin Colby gets the Springboks on the board and they can't take this one off them. 7 points to 5 with the kick to come. Cheslin Colby gets one back for the Boks. Read that perfectly. And away he goes. And the scores are about to be locked up with the kick to come. Conversion successful, and it's 7 points apiece. Springboks and the All Blacks going down to the wire. Speaking of going down to the wire, 18 minutes left in this elimination final in the NRL. 17 and a half left. The Panthers are up 12 points to 8, playing with a breeze at their back, and the Warriors have just coughed the ball up on the halfway line. Reignites has it at the back of the ruck here for the Boks from just outside their own 22. The Boks kick upfield. Carter misses it completely. It sits up for Jordie Barrett on halfway. Gives it to Bowden. Bowden rocked back in the tackle, but the All Blacks are there in numbers to retain possession. Nice short ball for Tupovai. Penalty advantage being played. Christie with the cutout ball into midfield. Now they break to the right. Jordie Barrett goes out the back to Bowden. Quick hands now for McKenzie. Kicks in behind the line. Proctor chasing through. Making a mess of it at the backfield was Willemse. And it's a line out throw here for the All Blacks on the Springboks 22. Fifth and last for the Panthers. 10 metres out from the line. Smith, with nobody to pass it to, gets the ball away somehow to Yeo. They're all over Isaiah Yeo, and that'll be a handover 10 metres out from the line. The Warriors goal line defence again. Shutting the Panthers down. The Panthers not getting their kick away. All Blacks win the line-out ball. 22 out from the box line. Savia in midfield. Rocked in the hit. Springboks in over the top illegally. Penalty advantage, and this will break the deadlock potentially. Through the hands out to the left. McKenzie kicks in behind. Looking for it to sit up for Carter. It doesn't. So we come back for the penalty. As Tanner Boyd is leaving the field. Wade Egan's copped a Category 2 HIA. And now Tanner Boyd is leaving the field. We come back for the penalty here to the All Blacks. 25 metres out, right in front. It's a gift 3 points if they want it to break this deadlock. And it's an obvious decision here. 28 minutes gone in the game. Take the 3 and break the deadlock. Claim the lead. 15 minutes to go here in the NRL Elimination Final. Healy's on the field. Tamate Martin takes it up to halfway. Fifth and last for the Warriors. Harris Tavita gets the kick away. Was he bumped off the ball after contact? Alamotti does well to keep this ball in the field of play, but now he can't get back into the... Yes, he can get back into the field of play. Somehow, Paul Alamotti. As McKenzie puts this one over to give the All Blacks a 10-7 lead. Pressure set of 6 here on the Panthers. Leading 12 points to 8, 15 minutes to play. Liam Martin brings it out just short of the 22. Just short of the 20, sorry. Wrong game. Fifth and last on their own 20. Big kick needed here for the Panthers. Cleary delivers, uses that breeze, and now it holds up in midfield. Bouncing back for the Panthers. Blaze Talangi gets the second kick away. It's over the head of Casey McLean. Picked up by To'o. To'o down the short side for Casey McLean to score. The Panthers have pulled off a miracle try, and that is quite possibly the winning of the game. Casey McLean gets a tick off the multi. I only need Paul Alamotti now. Paul Alamotti to win the multi. Boy, oh boy. The Panthers, fifth tackle on their own 20. Nathan Cleary kicks it into acres of open space. And it's a kind bounce for the Panthers. Charging onto it was Luke Garner. Gets the offload away for Talangi. Talangi, they've just got to check that second kick. Were they onside from the second kick? That might be the only thing to save the day here for the Warriors. Were the Panthers onside for that second kick? As the Springboks cough the ball up 10 metres out from the All Blacks line, and we'll get a scrum down. What a huge moment in this elimination final. As it stands, the Panthers have taken a 16 points to 8 lead with 14 minutes to play. Yet to be confirmed. They'll be checking onsides. They'll be checking knock-ons. They can't rule on forward passes. Try's been confirmed now. Dylan Edwards steps up for the kick at goal, so that's interesting. Nathan Cleary has been removed from goal-kicking duty. Probably wants to give his leg a bit of a rest after he thumped the bollocks off it for that last one. Edwards taps it over, and it's 18 points to 8. The Panthers. And it was also our second tick off the same game multi. We had Halasima. We had Casey McLean. Now I just need Paul Alamotti. All Blacks scrum down. 10 out from their own line. Down the short side for Mackenzie to clear. And Mackenzie exits. A great kick up towards halfway. A huge clearance. Up over halfway they go. The All Blacks leading 10 points to 7. 8 minutes to go till the halftime break. We've got 12 and a half minutes to go in this elimination final. We'll turn our attention to that just momentarily as Reignites is trying to get back onto the field. And Farsi, it looks like, is... oh no, Farsi's just coming over to have a chat. The kick goes downfield here from the Panthers. Tuivasa-Sheck takes it. 18 points to 8 they lead with 12 minutes left to play. The Warriors season looks like it's hanging by a thread right now. Kick down into the All Blacks 22. It's lost backwards by the Springboks. And they put pressure on the All Blacks at ruck time. Back for Bowden. Barrett to clear. Barrett sends it upfield. 10 short of halfway for a Springboks line-out throw. 11 and a half to go. Warriors ball. 2 tackles left. Tamate Martin numbers out to the left. Harris Tavita with the cutout pass for Tuivasa-Sheck. The sliding defense of the Panthers gets across and forces him back in field. But it's still alive. Loose ball across the face of the defense. Creates space now for Halasima. Halasima draws in To'o. Throws the pass out the back to nobody. Halasima. Was it touched by To'o? Do they get the ball back here, the Warriors? To'o went for the intercept. You'd think that surely he had to get a touch on that, Brian To'o. The ball went so far out the back in behind Watene Zelezniak. And it looks like it is going to be Warriors ball here. Springboks march over halfway into All Blacks territory. Here's Hooker. Oh, no, it's Panthers ball. There you go. It was just a poor pass from Halasima. Midfield. Back it goes for Lebok to put the high ball up. Crossfield kick for Cheslin Colby. Everybody lets it bounce, and it bounces into touch. Six minutes to go until the halftime break. All Blacks leading the Springboks 10 points to 7. Panthers go on the attack again. Cleary goes on a run. Flick pass out the back is towed through. And the Warriors dive on the loose ball. There's going to be a captain's challenge here. Paul Oosthuizen. Thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. Come on, the mighty box, he says. Short side. Through the hands now. Hooker. Taken down in the tackle. 5 minutes to go till the halftime break. Springboks trailing by 3, but in possession again, as they have been for large parts of this half. Moody steps back in field. It's a loose ball out the back of the ruck, and it's a penalty to the All Blacks. Artie Savia again winning the turnover. As the All Blacks kick down into the Springboks 22. And Fassi limping in back play. Five minutes to go until the halftime break. An attacking line out here for the All Blacks. Taki Aho goes to the back. It's over the top of everybody. And it sits up for Lebok. Now the Springboks break away. Dancing around in midfield is Willemse. Ball there at the back of the ruck. As the box, Schneiman, cut out pass, goes down the short side for Marks. Marks runs over the top of one, gets the pass back, but Tupou Vai's there to intercept. And the All Blacks have it back on halfway. A scattered defensive line here of the box. Mackenzie eyes up the options, decides the kick is the best one, and it's a shocking kick. Cheslin Colby now. Scooped up by Brian To'o, and To'o's going to run the length of the field and score. Brian To'o knocks the Warriors out of the competition. That's the victory for the Panthers. Brian To'o breaks away, picks up the loose ball. It couldn't have been Paul Alamotti, could it? For my multi. Brian To'o will do as the Panthers now open up an insurmountable lead with 8.5 to play. 22-8 with the kick to come. And season 2025 comes to a close for the Warriors. For the Panthers, the 5-peat is still a possibility. They will go on to face the Canterbury Bulldogs. And what a grudge match that will be. I wouldn't put it past the Panthers to win that one quite convincingly. Especially the Bulldogs. They've got some injury concerns. Well played, Penrith Panthers, though. It certainly wasn't their most fluid performance by any stretch of the imagination. Nathan Cleary's being protected as well. At the back end of the contest, Edwards has taken over the goal kicking. As the Boks, they've got a lot of injury concerns at the moment. As Edwards moves in, puts that one down the middle. The Panthers 24, the Warriors 8. And Fussy, the box fullback, off the field he goes. 3 minutes to go until the halftime break. Fussy onto the medicab. And off the field he goes. A pretty severe ankle injury, leg injury. And he could not walk off the field under his own accord. Warriors go short with the restart and they have the ball. This one might not be over yet. 7 minutes to go. 24-8. Yeah, I think it is over. I think it is over. Not enough time here for the Warriors to fight back. Straight through goes Niokore. Heads for the corner. What a tackle by Dylan Edwards. A try saver for Dylan Edwards. 6.5 to play, but the Warriors, they've left it too little too late. The Wars. They needed more of this fight earlier on. Nickel Klokstad now, 10 meters out. 2 tackles left. Egan pops the pass up there for Volmolga. 5th and last, Warriors. Egan kicks out a dummy half, needs this one to sit up. To'o takes it dead. No chances taken at the back end here for Brian To'o and the Panthers. 24 points to 8, 6 minutes to play in this elimination final. It's looking like the Panthers will live on. And the Warriors, their season derailed with the injuries, the season-ending injuries to Metcalf and Mitchell Barnett. 1.5 minutes to go till the halftime break here in the Springboks All Blacks test. 10 points to 7, the All Blacks lead. Five minutes left in the season for the Warriors. As the scrum sets over here in the rugby, Christie feeds. Big shove again from the box, but it's there for the All Blacks. Karifi breaks off the back. John Michael, ahoy mates. Back it goes for Bowden Barrett to clear. Doesn't look for touch. Colby takes it. Fires it in field. Willemse. Onto Lebok. Lebok just feeds the back line. Loose pass out the back of the ruck. Sits up for Weiss. Bumps away from Taki Aho. That's not easy to do. Now Lebok holds the pass up and almost through the gap goes Esterhausen. But they've come up with another dropped ball here, the box, and another scrum down to the All Blacks. Well, that'll be half time. You would think they won't even get time to pack the scrum. 4.5 minutes. Oh! Stephen Crichton's season is over with a foot injury. The Bulldogs will be going into sudden death against the Panthers, and they'll be doing it without Stephen Crichton. That's huge news. No Stephen Crichton for the rest of the season for the Bulldogs. No, mate, Johnny Michael, the Bulldogs' second bite of the cherry is playing the winner of this game. It's all straight eliminations now. They lost to the Storm the other night, so this is their second bite of the cherry when they play the Panthers next week. And they'll be doing it without Stephen Crichton, ruled out for the season with a foot injury. That's massive news. as Wade Egan's busted open again for the second time tonight. Big scrum from the Springboks, but Wallace and Gromit Satiti takes it at the back of the scrum and thumps it into touch. And that is half-time. 10 points to 7. The All Blacks over the Springboks. 4 minutes left here in the elimination final. Half-time in the Rugby Union. 4 minutes left here of the Warriors season. The Panthers too strong in the end. $24 points to 8. Cleary feeds it. To'o. One out from the scrum. As they march up towards the halfway line again, safe in their certainty that they've got this game in the bag. Yo plays it on halfway. Papali'i crashes upfield. Oh, he's had a big engine on him tonight, Isaiah Papali'i. Cleary now dummies the kick on play 4. Gives it off now for Smith, Lindsay Smith. 35 out in midfield, 5th and last. Cleary down the short side, just grubbers in behind the line, looking for touch. And that is just perfect play. Perfect game management from Nathan Cleary. 2 minutes 45 to go. Half-time in the rugby. Somehow I've done it. I still don't quite know how I've done it, but somehow I feel like I'm pretty happy with how that's gone. Trying to concentrate on 2 games at once. But one game is about to come to an end. 2 minutes left in the elimination final. The Warriors are on their way out for season 2025. And they come up with another mistake in their own half. They're going to captain's challenge because why not, I suppose, with 2 minutes left to play. Why not? They've got nothing left to lose anymore. Lazar says, I wonder if the Sharks are enjoying some Red Rooster. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Tough assignment for the Sharkies tonight. Very, very tough assignment for them. But hopefully they put on a good showing for themselves at least. I mean, that's all you ask as a fan, right? You completely understand as a fan, unless you're the Panthers, you can't win all the time. So, as a fan, you just hope that your team loses respectfully. Corvair Banaga says, need the Roosters to beat the Sharks. Well, I really do think they will. I really, really do think they will. 2 minutes left of the Warriors season. Can they go out with a bang and get themselves another try? 5th and last, they're going to put the ball high. Alamotti's under it, takes it well. Harris Tavita chases down on him and holds him up in the tackle. 1 minute 40 to go. I just missed out on my multi by Paul Alamotti. Panthers lose the ball. Warriors dive on it. Penalty for an illegal strip. Penalty goes to the Panthers. And the Warriors will captain's challenge this call. Once again, why not? Lazar wins when they lose, like Mick Foley, the pro wrestler, losing gracefully. That's exactly it. I mean, that's all you can really hope for. Put on a performance that everybody can be proud of and no harm. But if they get absolutely spanked without firing a shot, that's when it becomes concerning. Penalty stands. Cleary puts it into touch. Paul Alamotti would be it'd be a great time for a breakout try for my same game multi. It's the only leg left. Paul Alamotti looks like the leg is going to fall short, unfortunately. Papali'i up to the 40. He's been immense tonight. Very instrumental in the Panthers shifting momentum and keeping themselves in the game. Smith gets through. Loose pass out the back. Fisher Harris scoops it up, but it's lost forward by the Warriors. With 30 seconds left to go, half-time in the rugby. All Blacks leading at 10 points to 7. Panthers are up 24-8 over the Warriors. The Warriors' season draws to a close. Can the Panthers have one last throw at the dice here? They're lined up out to the right. That's the edge I need them to go, because that's where Paul Alamotti is. Or are they just going to thump this into touch and preserve themselves for an elimination showdown against the Bulldogs? Let's see where their heads are at. They're going to thump it into touch. No, they're going to take the tackle. And the Panthers' season lives on. The Warriors' season comes to an unfortunate demise at the hands of the reigning premiers. The 5-peat is still on. Good Lord, they're a tough team to beat. They are a tough team to beat. The Panthers victorious. The Warriors, a commendable season. But they were dismantled rather easily in the end by the Penrith Panthers. Too strong. Halftime here in the rugby. 10 points to 7. It is the All Blacks leading the Springboks, but a scrappy first half from both teams. Jack says, have I still got the Storm winning the final? Yeah, look, I think that the Storm and the Panthers still have so much more improvement in them. Both teams. I mean, I've got to stick with my prediction, don't I? I don't like to be flaky on predictions. I've been predicting Storm versus Panthers since the end of last year. Full-time siren sounded on last year's grand final, and I said these two teams will be back in it again next year. I will stand by that. Got to stick with it. But the Penrith Panthers, boy, oh boy, through they go to take on the Bulldogs in an elimination final. The Bulldogs, who will be without Stephen Crichton. Stephen Crichton's season is over. William Daniel, ahoy, mate. Can't wait for the next game. Oh. Gonna be a big one, big contest. The Roosters have probably come into this final series on some of the best form out of all the teams. The Roosters and the Broncos, they're probably the teams who have carried momentum into the final series. That'll be interesting to see if they can be stopped. King Simba, ahoy, mates. Yes, we will be doing the next game and tomorrow's game. Absolutely. All right, I can now switch over to my main display. I can get things back to a little bit more of a normal setup. Jag Masters, ahoy. You think calling two games simultaneously is tough? You should try listening to two. To'o was in for the All Blacks. Yes. I caught it out of the corner of my eye. Brian To'o just scooped the ball up and scurried away for the backbreaker. Good times, good times. No, that was fun. I've always wanted to try that just for shits and gigs, as they say, right? I've always wanted to give that a go. Tick it off the bucket list. I don't know that I would do it too often, though, to be honest. It's a bit of a strain on the voice. But anyways, we can go back to a little bit of normalcy here. And concentrate now on the second half of the rugby. $10 points to 7, the All Blacks lead, but it's been far from convincing. Lots of mistakes from the Springboks. ARW, since Penrith win, they better get 5 in a row. I think they are a red-hot chance. Make no mistake about that. They are absolutely a red-hot chance. You better believe it. You better believe it. And if you don't believe it, could be in for some disappointment. Because the Panthers, they're looking good. They're coming for 5 in a row, DJ Shaq. King Simba, you're having dinner before the Sharks and Roosters? Nice. What's on the menu? I'm pretty keen to get myself a feed after this game. 100%. Or I don't know if I'll last. Got to feed the belly. Red Rooster sounds nice for dinner, says Lazar. The Sharks will, of course, be hoping to feast off Rooster. Tarata, Vincent Hillman says 3 sides want revenge on them. Storm, Raiders, and Broncos. Beaten in the grand final, is that right? For the Panthers, no, the Panthers in their grand finals, they beat the Rabbitohs, who are obviously not playing in the finals. But yeah, they beat the Rabbitohs, they beat the Eels, they beat the Broncos, and they beat the Storm in their 4 premierships. Joshua Stewart, Panthers versus Bulldogs next week. And the big news, of course, Stephen Crichton ruled out for the rest of the season. So the Bulldogs, they're going to have to do it without their captain Courageous. That's a huge out for the Bulldogs, to say the least. Stephen Crichton, a season-ending foot injury. Wild times. Still half-time here in this one. 10 points to 7. The All Blacks have scrapped their way through to a lead at the half-time break, but both teams will seek improvement in the second half, to say the least. And we'll see what the second half can bring. It'll be underway momentarily. I better have myself a quick break while I still can at the moment. And be right back for the second half of the rugby. Panthers 24 over the Warriors 8 in the elimination final. The Warriors season is done. The Panthers carry on looking for that 5-peat. I'll be right back for the second half after this. All Blacks, Springboks. Oh, here we go. Second half is underway. And the Springboks control it at the back. Reignites puts the box kick up. And it's going to fall 10 short of halfway. Damien McKenzie wins the battle in the air. Christie goes down the short side. Quick hands for Geordie. Geordie chopped down. Still, All Blacks ball. McKenzie into midfield for Satiti. Offloads back for Scotty Barrett. In over the top of this, Dutoy told to lay off now. McKenzie at first receiver. Out the back it goes for Jordan. Quick hands here for the All Blacks, and Savia throws a forward pass out to Billy Proctor, and it's been called by the touchy on halfway. Scrum down to the box. Oz Surge, Ahoy mate. Good game, Panthers. Long way to go, but yep, the Panthers can turn their attention to next week and an elimination final against the Bulldogs. And try not to be distracted by the news of Stephen Crichton. Stephen Crichton ruled out for the season. Massive. As the Ox leaves the field, substitutes rolling out now for the box. Dutoy and Ox heading off. So a new front row. Although I think Malcolm Marx is still out there. So some new props. Scrum down here for the box on halfway. Reignites to feed. 10 points to 7 in this scrappy old game. The scrum sets and it collapses. We'll have a repack. Both front rows just collapsing on one another. I don't think anybody was necessarily to blame there outright. Yes, stay hunky. Yes, All Blacks box game in Wellington. Reignites feeds the repack. Solid push here from the box. They march over halfway. Penalty advantage. That was a monster of a scrum. Straight up the middle goes Khaleesi. Where's the support? Taken down inside the 22. Quick ruck ball. Cut out pass for Cheslin Colby. Colby steps inside Leroy Carter, and Cheslin Colby gets another one. The Springboks go boom to start the second half. Cheslin Colby with the ankle breaker on Leroy Carter. And the Boks take the lead. A dominant scrum. And then Khaleesi rampages up the middle. Fantastic work there for the Springboks. Great start to the second 40. Conversion attempt from out wide, holding its line, and sneaks in past this near upright. And the Boks are up 14 points to 10. Great start. Getting themselves on top nice and early in the second 40 is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Boks. I'm just going to move myself down here to a more traditional headshot position. There we go. We're ready to roll for the rest of this second half. The exit kick for Cheslin Colby to chase through and takes it in the face of Damien McKenzie. 14 points to 10. The Springboks leading as LeBock sends it out over wide to the left-hand edge. Springboks up to halfway. Playing with great speed now and great intensity. They're inside the All Blacks half again. Zakor, Kadir, ahoy mate. Barrett into McKenzie in midfield. McKenzie clears from outside the 22. He lands it. No, he doesn't. It's taken on the fall by Colby. And Colby puts this one high. Not a lot of distance on it. Slightly off the side of the boot. And it's well taken by Carter. Carter now gets away from a couple. Flick pass out the back for Scotty Barrett. Barrett lays it back for Christie. And Christie is thumped by Jasper Weiss. They go quickly to the box. And Willemse kicks in behind Will Jordan, who knocks it back into the field of play. And they keep it alive now, the All Blacks. Barrett onto McKenzie. McKenzie says, let's get it out of here. And he kicks this one upfield. Colby takes it on the full again. From a standing start, he now takes off across field. And Jaw, careful there. Tupou Vai drops the shoulder in. And that'll be a penalty advantage. And the penalty's given, and this will be a yellow card for sure. How does he stay on the... Now, look. There was no damage done, but it was a blatant shoulder charge. And I think Tupou Vai will be very, very lucky here to not see 10 in the bin. Talia Godwin, ahoy. How are you, my friends? Tupou Vai with no intent to wrap the arms there. And he is in big trouble. Big trouble here. The referee now having words, just calming both teams down, if at all possible. Oh, poor little Cheslin Colby. I tell you what, though. How tough is Cheslin Colby? Tupou Vai is twice the size of him. Drops the shoulder into him, and he maintained his feet and still scampered away. Lived to tell the tale. Well, he's down in back play now, but... Tupou Vai, I mean... It was a really, really blatant shoulder charge. I don't know how he stays on the field. To be perfectly honest. Cheslin Colby is now down in back play. Tupou Vai. Very, very lucky. Very lucky man. I tell you what, if I were the referee, I would have been straight to the pocket. Straight to the pocket. Yellow card, 10 in the bin, my friend. Jack says, good to see the baby All Blacks in World Cup form. Losing up the South Africa, the real Rugby Union Kings. Tupou Vai, are you talking about DJ Shaq, was heavily criticised during the week for his attitude? DJ Shack says, is a penalty sufficient for that kind of tackle, Dan? I say no. I mean, it was blatant. There was no damage. Well, I mean, Cheslin Colby's now spent a lot of time getting treatment, but he spun away from the initial impact and seemed fine. So, but it was a blatant shoulder. I think he's very lucky to still... No intent to wrap whatsoever. Very lucky to still be on the field. Immediate yellow card if I was out there. Lebok to take the shot at 3 here for the Boks. Right out in front. Strikes it well. It's bending, but it maintains just enough line to go through. And South Africa lead now 17 points to 10. Yellow card and on report, absolutely. I mean, the reports can take care of themselves. I don't really mind one way or another on that, but a clear yellow card, I thought. There was no intent whatsoever to wrap. Very, very lucky to still be on the field. Now, I think, see, what bothers me is, as Reignites clears with the box kick, South Africa competing everywhere. It's scrappy ball out the back. Marks dives on it, and they're just outside their own 22, so not a lot of meters made off that exit, but still in possession. And so what bothers me, I reckon it's a completely different story. If Colby gets rocked back in the tackle, back in the hit, can't really call it a tackle, can you? But if Colby gets rocked backwards and knocked off his feet, I think the fact that he bumped away from it and maintained his feet, even though the referee immediately called penalty advantage for it, I think the fact that Colby maintained his feet maybe is what got Tupou Vai off there. And what I'm saying is that shouldn't matter. The outcome shouldn't matter. It was a blatant, no intent to wrap shoulder charge, and he is a very lucky boy, Tupou Vai. As Willem say now, kicks along the ground and into touch. Takiaho throws quickly to the front. All Blacks have it. Barrett with the clearing kick. Bounces it over the head of the Springboks defense. But it's now at the back for Lebok, who returns it outside the 22. Kicks the high ball up for himself to chase, and the All Blacks have made a mess of it. A complete meal of it. Oh, but play on, says the referee. Proctor heads across field, gets up and goes again. Gives it to Geordie. And now the TMO's got involved and called the knock-on that was missed somehow by the on-field officials. And it will be a scrum down for the Springboks. Tarata Vincent Tillman says, who's next man up after Razor? Well, I think it's probably a bit early in the reign to be calling for Razor's head. But he certainly hasn't been going as well in charge as I thought he would. Not even playing the style of rugby that I thought they would under Razor. Now, I know that Super Rugby is obviously immensely different from international rugby, and it must be treated as such. But I'm just perplexed. I'm perplexed sometimes at the way that the All Blacks approach the games. Free kick here for an early shove. Early push from the All Black scrum. Free kick to the Springboks. 50.5 minutes gone in this test. And it's the Springboks holding on to a 7-point lead and controlling territory and possession at the moment as well. They put this one high, and it's taken and marked inside the 22 by Geordie Barrett. Geordie bounces this one into touch up over the halfway line. Line out throw for the Springboks. Brian Wilson, yeah, can't write Razor off yet. Cramp. I just think he needs to learn, or not learn. I think he just needs to decide. He needs to decide the style of play that he wants to play, pick a team around that style, and stick with it. There's still, in my opinion, too much chopping and changing. Like, all this time in charge, like he's been in charge for a little while now, right? But all this time in charge, and he still can't seem to decide between McKenzie or Barrett. As the Springboks let this one bounce, it sits up for Leroy Carter. And Carter goes into contact. The All Blacks now on the attack. Getting in each other's way. Quick hands, though, from Barrett onto Savia. Vai down this left flank is rocked in the tackle by Steph Detoy. Ball is still there for the All Blacks, though. 25 out. No hands now for the Boks. Told to release. Christie gives it to Bowden. Takiaho out the back for McKenzie. Numbers now for Will Jordan to use. Cut out pass. Cuts out Proctor. And Leroy Carter can't scoop it up on the ankles. Bats the ground in frustration. But that was some more promising attack from the All Blacks. No surprise that Will Jordan was heavily involved there. Well, it probably should have been held on to. Charbel, quitter. Can the All Blacks still win? Yeah, look, it's not looking good for them, but there's only 53 minutes gone. Only 7 points behind. I get the feeling there's still twists and turns aplenty left in this one. Scrum down for the Springboks. 5 in from touch on their own 22 over on that left edge. ARW says if the scores stay this way, I can't remember the last time, if there has ever been, each team having 2 wins, 2 losses split after 4 matches. It's a really tight competition this year, isn't it? Scrum penalty here for the Boks. Wow, they've been dominant at scrum time, getting free kicks, getting penalties. The front row collapses. LeBock searching for touch, finds it just short of halfway. Although the touchy's marching him a long way back. But either way, Springboks will have the line-out throw. Takiaho coming off the field. So on goes Brodie McAllister. Springboks go to the middle. Contested by the All Blacks, but it's taken down by the Boks. Reinick fires it out the back for LeBock to clear. Puts it high. Springboks chasing through to put pressure on McKenzie. McKenzie leaps and takes it. The Springboks chase time to perfection. Rocking McKenzie back in the tackle. 17 points to 10. The Boks lead. 55 minutes gone. Bowden Barrett returns serve with the bomb. Geordie chasing through. Geordie gets hands on it. Peter Steph Detoy comes away with it. Springboks ball on halfway. Reinick down the short side to LeBock with some good footwork. Forward pass over the top there to Ethan Hooker. No call this time from the touchy. Artie Sarvea's in over the top of this one and wrestling it away anyway. Now the counter-attack is on. Numbers to the right. Satiti calls for it. Taken down. Still inside their own half here, the All Blacks. Tanya Godwin says the All Blacks will do what they always do and turn it over in the last few minutes. ARW says Aussie rugby on the way up for sure. Has to be because of an NRL convert, of course. Finley Christie's in over the top of the ball here. Now he's told to release. And there's Springboks knocking on at the back of the ruck for about the third time tonight. Kobus Reineck frustrated. Finley Christie probably a little unlucky to not get a turnover penalty in the first place anyway, but there's a cheeky little knock on there. The ball security at the back of the rucks tonight from the box has not been good. Scrum down here for the All Blacks on halfway. The Boks have been dominant the past few scrums. Can they keep up the momentum here? It sets and breaking away as Satiti off the back. Nice short ball for Geordie into space. Picked up and dumped in the tackle. Perfectly legitimate tackle. But the All Blacks maintain possession. Bowden now bends the line. Quick ruck ball down the short side for Carter. Carter tries to run over the top of Labok. Back into midfield for Bowden. Nice short ball. The double pump for Proctor. Proctor beats one, but then he slips in contact. Still front foot ball here for the All Blacks, though. Bowden close to the ruck. Offloads to Geordie. Geordie lays it back. 57.5 gone. Springboks leading by 7. All Blacks, though, building. 25 out from the line. Short side play again. Scotty Barrett. Barrett's are us in the past few tackles. Penalty now to the All Blacks as the Springboks are off their feet on the wrong side of the ruck. And we've got time off. Everyone wants a rest. Oh, wait a minute. The Springboks are getting called out here. Both captains getting called out. The referee wants words again. Just saying there's too much niggle. A little too much niggle going on here for my liking, says the ref. We're going to just calm things down. All Blacks put the ball into touch inside the 22. Here's a big opportunity now to hit back. Brodie McAllister with his first line-out throw since coming on tonight. Not ever. Khaleesi leaves the field. Quagga Smith on. That's a big change for the Boks. McAllister now throws to the front. No, the front's a decoy. Goes to Scotty Barrett in the middle. Penalty to the Boks. They got it all wrong there. The All Blacks at line-out time. An obstruction as they tried to form the maul. They just got it a little bit wrong. Satiti caught on the wrong side there, and Barrett goes straight into him. Obstruction penalty goes to the Springboks, and they survive. They survive a question that wasn't even answered in the end. 59 minutes gone. Labok puts this into touch about 10 short of halfway. And the Springboks, scrappy game from both teams, but particularly so by the All Blacks. Marks with the throw. Goes to the front. The All Blacks look to spoil, but it's here for the Boks. Out into midfield. As Quagga Smith freshly on the park. Takes a run up the middle. Reignites controls it at the back. Sets up the box kick. Chasing through to put pressure on. Geordie Barrett has the ball ripped away by Ethan Hooker. And the Boks are back in possession. Into the All Blacks territory they march. Back for LeBock. Fires a huge cutout pass. Bounces up nicely for Esterhausen. Pops it over the top. And space down the left edge now. Williams steps back in field. Gives it to Willemse. Willemse kicks through. And the Boks have nearly pulled off a good try. Cannon Moody. So close to regathering that. The Springboks, not a lot of room to play with down that left edge, but they found space. Keeping the ball alive, Grant Williams. Tricky footwork. Quinton Tupaia comes on. And off goes Billy Proctor. I think this is a good change. Some fresh legs into the midfield for the back end of the contest is what I mean. Not necessarily that Billy Proctor's been bad at all, just needing some fresh legs out there in the midfield. McAllister, what an important throw this is. 5 meters out from their own line. Defensive line out. McAllister. Stolen by the Boks. And here they come. A meter short. The pick and go. Keeping it in tight. They're centimeters away here, the Boks. Kwanga Smith has a crack. Half a meter out. Reignites fires it out. They try to go out to the right-hand edge. A loose pass is somehow collected, leaping in the air to take it and crashing through 2 weak defenders. The try has been scored. The turnover at line-out time. And the Springboks send it wide for Damien Willemse. And that is a huge try for the Springboks. That's a monster. 22 points to 10 with the kick to come. Willemse has to reach behind over the top of his own head, backwards for it, and powers his way from a standing start, from an off-balance start. He powers his way through Leroy Carter. And Quinton Tupaia, I believe, was the other one who's just come onto the field. And he's just monstered the both of them, as Willemse. LeBock puts the conversion over. 62 minutes gone. And it's 24 points to 10. South Africa. This is an incredible second half. Scorpio69 says that's game over. Great win by the Springboks. He's thrown in the towel. Scorpio throwing in the towel. All Blacks get us back underway. Inside their own 22 off the restart. Reignites with the box kick. Gets a lot of height on this one. It falls for the Boks. They come away with it. 63 minutes gone. South Africa firmly in control. And now through the hands out to the left. Jatoy carries it up to the halfway mark. This left edge, they're loving it. The kick through, though, beats everybody into touch. Willemse with the kick through rather than keeping it in the hands. And into touch it goes. Oh, the referee's in a little bit of trouble. Oh, the referee's been cleaned up in back play. The line out goes over the top to nobody. The Springboks spill it in midfield. Beauden Barrett now on the counter-attack to Pyer. Fires the cutout pass to Jordan, and Jordan clears upfield. Oh, is he cleared it too far? Will Jordan, it's going to go dead by a mile. And we come all the way back for a scrum down to the Springboks. It's all falling to pieces here for the All Blacks. Will Jordan from just outside his own 22 has thumped it. And he's thumped it way too heavy. Dead in goal. It goes all the way back for a scrum. Unlucky. "65 minutes gone, 24 points to 10. South Africa could go a long way here to putting this game to bed if they come up with points here. "59% territory in favour of the Boks. It's been a demolition job. Scorpio 69 wants to know who leads the Rugby Championship after this game. If it stays this way at the moment, it would be, well, it depends if the All Blacks get a bonus point or not. Front rows collapse and the All Blacks get a penalty. Beauden Barrett finding touch. Lazar says the Boks are like the Spartans in 300. Tania Godwin says, come on, All Blacks. "10 meters in the Springboks territory. DJ Shack would secretly love it if the Rugby Championship finished with every team 3 wins, 3 losses. Brodie McAllister with the line-out throw. 65 and a half gone. The Springboks spoil at line-out time again, and they've stolen it. Big problems at line-out time for the All Blacks, as the Springboks just continue to dominate possession and territory. Slow ruck ball, but they don't need to. They don't need to do anything crazy here. The Boks, they're leading by 14 with 14 to play. Reignites with the box kick up to Jordan. Lost at the back by Damian McKenzie. And it'll be a scrum down. The Springboks are just charging home here in Wellington. What is it about Wellington where the All Blacks just can't seem to play rugby? Certainly not against the Springboks anyway. Another scrum down for South Africa, where they've also been controlling the flow of things. "67 minutes gone. As the scrum sets. Big shove here from the All Blacks, but it's there for the Boks. Releasing it into midfield, where there might have been a little bit of high contact, but it's play on. Loose pass goes out the back in behind Willemse. Willemse lays it back. All Blacks march straight over the top of the loose ball on the deck. And a knock-on advantage goes the way of the home side. Finley Christie digs it out. Goes to Jordan. Jordan back into the 22 for Barrett. Barrett to clear. There's space in behind here. Bounces up inside the box 22. And now Hooker with the counter-attack. Straight up the middle. Scoots away from Christie. 1 to beat. Jordan brings him down. What a counter-attack, though, from Ethan Hooker. Quick ruck ball now for Reignites. Into midfield they go. Willemse again. The Bok Tries to go in and clean out. This has been immense play from the Springboks. A dominant second half. It was a little bit of a scrappy opening half for both teams, but the Springboks have just controlled this second 40 to perfection. Crossfield kick now. Peter Steph-Toy unmarked out here. Gets the bounce. Was he taken in the air by McKenzie? It doesn't matter because he's popped it back to Kwanga Smith. And Smith scores the match winner. Kwanga Smith. This has now opened up a huge gap between the teams. 29 points to 10 with the conversion to come. It's been a massacre here in Wellington. The Springboks dominant from start to finish. Oh, what a performance this has been. Stand up and take notice. The Boks. They made the right changes. And they have claimed themselves a big scalp here tonight. E.B. Williams says today is a dark day for New Zealand sports. Seb Watson getting blown out here, the All Blacks. 29-10, the conversion to come. LeBock. 15 in front touch. Hooks it horribly off to the left. But 29 points to 10 it remains. With 10 minutes to go. A dominant display here. I mean, what a performance. $29-10, the Springboks. Oh, this Rugby Championship is wide open. The All Blacks go short with the restart, claimed by Steph-Toy. 10 minutes left to play. The Springboks back in possession. They are just dominating the stats here. Every single metric is falling the way of the Boks. Reinach sends it back into All Blacks territory. Barrett spills it, but it sits up for McKenzie. McKenzie scampers away. All Blacks under pressure. Springboks win the turnover penalty. Oh, somebody stop the fight. Throw in the towel. This is an absolute beat-up. The Springboks all over the Blacks here. Ball carrier holding on. LeBock steps up to put this one into the corner and they'll go for another try. LeBock puts it into touch inside the 22. And here they come against South Africa. Looking to put that exclamation mark on the contest. A line out, 10 meters out. Big time pressure here on the All Blacks. They compete at line out time and they steal it. Beauden Barrett now gets away. Kicks it upfield. Bends it into touch just short of the halfway line. 8 minutes left to play. 19 points the difference. And finally, the All Blacks get some joy at line-out time. Fabian Holland got that big left arm up and steals it away. Line out throw. They get it right this time. Dutoy taps it down on halfway to Reinach. LeBock sends it high. Pressure at the back on McKenzie. Taken in the air by Kanan Moody. Springboks back in possession. Visa up the middle. Carried inside the 22. Reinach now sends it left for Schneiman. Schneiman goes straight through to score. It's another one for the Boks. RG Schneiman. 34 points to 10. Holy hell, what a massacre. I don't recall ever seeing an All Blacks team just so completely and totally outplayed in every single facet. The Springboks have just put on a brutal display. 34 points to 10 with the kick to come. A statement victory for the Springboks. Genitalia, ahoy mates. Yes, Sharks Roosters game coming up. Marnie Lebock from right in front to make it 36 points to 10. Puts it down the middle. 36 points to 10. Wow. What an absolute destruction. Absolute domination here by the Boks. Claimed by the All Blacks from the restart. 36 points to 10. 5 minutes left to play. Christie sends it out into midfield for McKenzie. Quick hands for Scott Barrett. Quint Tupai throws it out the back to nobody, and that sums it up. But the Boks are offside. Penalty to the All Blacks. Five minutes left to play. Brodie McAllister with the throw here, 10 metres out from the line. Goes to the front, runs around the back of the line out and gets it off the tap down. The All Blacks, just the one try tonight. Looking for number 2 now. McKenzie fires it out to an unmarked Will Jordan. Will Jordan heads for the corner. Oh, he's fluffed it, has he? Will Jordan reaching out to ground it. Will Jordan has just cocked this up with the try line wide open. And it sums up the day for the All Blacks, really. Will Jordan has cocked it up. And it'll be a 5-metre scrum for the Springboks. Will Jordan, you can't believe he hasn't scored here. That sums up the night for the All Blacks, really. They have been abysmal. The Boks, relentless. The game's over. And they're still scrambling defensively. Will Jordan should have canted in there, but Grant Williams it was. Grant Williams with the try saver. And the Freedom Cup remains in South Africa for another season. 36 points to 10 with 3 minutes left to play. The scrum sets a big shove here from the All Blacks. The front rows pop up, but it's play on. Kwanga Smith off the back. The ball sits there at the back of the ruck. Schneiman goes in to play scrum half. Back to Lebock to clear. And Marnie Lebock sends it up over halfway. Well, up over halfway on the fly, but the angle takes it into touch. Probably only about 30 metres out from their own line. All Blacks think about going quick, but traditional line-out sets. They go to the back of the line-out. Savia bats it down. Christie taps it into the midfield. Charging onto it was Lebock, who spills it forward. Knock-on advantage here to the All Blacks. Barrett with the crossfield kick. Tapped back in field and intercepted now by Moody. Moody fires it into Detoy. Springboks back in possession. 22 out from the line on the attack, looking for more points. The wraparound in midfield to LeBock. Steps off the left, looks to grub her in behind the line, loses the ball. Counter-attack is on now for the All Blacks. Cut out pass for Jordan. Doesn't have the pace to get away from Williams. So he's forced back in field. Artie Savia with the chip and chase, and he loses the ball. Knock-on advantage, Springboks. 36 points to 10. A bonus point victory incoming against the All Blacks. That's massive. Now ghosting straight through and sending Williams into open space. Cuts back inside Barrett. Gives the offload away to Esterhausen. And the Springboks are in again. 41 points to 10. It's an absolute massacre here in Wellington. This Springboks backline, Moody, Willemse, Williams, LeBock. Shut the gate. Stop the fight. Throw in the towel. However you want to describe it, it's been a dead set massacre. The Springboks. A brutal display. 41 points to 10. New Zealand looking absolutely clueless in attack and defense. "30 seconds left to play. The conversion from out wide. Well, they can do no wrong at the moment. The conversion from the sideline, 43 points to 10. They've got 30 seconds to crack 50, and I wouldn't put it past them. The way that they are playing, I would not at all put it past them to break out here in the last 30 seconds and rack up 50. All Blacks go short, and of course it's claimed. Peter Steph Detoy has it. 3 seconds to go. They might not even care about having a crack at 50. Reignites sends it into touch. And a famous victory here for the Springboks. The Freedom Cup is retained. They charge back into the Rugby Championships. 43 points to 10. Demolition job here of the All Blacks. And now Scotty Razor Robinson has some serious soul searching to do. And he's got to come up with some big-time solutions here. The Springboks, they seem like they're back on the right track. Oh, the joy on their faces, the celebration. Kwanga Smith and Cobus Reinick. The celebration up in the coach's box. Hugs all around. The look of despair on Artie Savia, just closing his eyes and shaking his head, wondering where it all went wrong. No points in the second half. The All Blacks led 10-7 at the break. 10-7 they led at the halftime break. 43 points to 10 at full time. Absolute disaster for the All Blacks. Wow, what a performance by the Boks. Argentina getting the win over Australia today as well. Australia picked up a very valuable bonus point. This Rugby Championship is wide open. Wide open with one more round to play. And that Bledisloe Cup, I've been talking about it. I talked about it on Generations on Wednesday night. I said that Bledisloe Cup is in danger. The Wallabies are coming for it. All right, West of Water Sports. This double Judy Jones stream, the Sports Bar, is going to shut up shop for about 40 minutes whilst we have a break and regather our senses and get ready for the Roosters versus the Sharks in the second NRL Elimination Final. One of the teams will be gone for the season. One of the teams will go through to play the loser of tomorrow's Broncos-Raiders game. We'll see. Panthers too strong for the Warriors. The Springboks way too strong for the All Blacks. We'll catch you guys shortly for the Sharks Roosters coming up here on the Wasted World of Sports. Thank you so much for your company in this one. Very much appreciate it. It was, it was something a little bit different, trying to call two games at once as the games overlapped, but we got there in the end. Celebration time for the Boks. 43 points to 10. An embarrassment of the All Blacks in front of their home fans. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Sharks, Roosters coming up. Catch you then. Cheers.